welcome back to Empower In. I'm Caroline Porter Thomas. Thank you so much for watching. So I have a video request from
Snap Quartermoon, who asks, can you please do a video on the different jobs a nurse can choose from?
Actually, this video is a huge undertaking for me because there are so many possibilities that you can do with your nursing license. Just so you guys know, the number one reason why I decided to become a nurse was because I felt like with my nursing degree, I did not have to make a decision right away. It was like I could kind of grow up, but not really, because I didn't have to decide what I wanted to do, where I wanted to do it, and just there were so many things that were open to me that I felt like this just opened a lot of doors. And that's why I decided to pursue nursing. Just to give you guys a little heads up, I have two awesome resources that I'm going to share with you at the end of this video. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to give you like a kind of brief synopsis and about some of the positions that are available. We're going to start with the most basic because most people, when they think of nursing in the hospital. And so I'll just go over those first. So here are some of the possibilities that you can do in the hospital. And the first is the most obvious one. It's med-surg. And basically, you can choose to work in an adult med-surg floor, which you'll be you'll be taking care of patients with all kinds of disease processes, basically adults. Also, a lot of times med-surg is linked to telemetry. What telemetry means, it's basically a portable heart monitor. And so you have somebody that's in a room and they're monitoring multiple patients' hearts, but that's what telemetry is. If you decide you like to work with kids, you can work on a pediatric floor. If you like an adrenaline rush, the emergency department is a good place for you. Also, if you like to work in intensive care, there's a lot of different specialties. And guys, listen, the bigger the hospital, the more different specialized intensive care units you will find. So like at the first hospital that I worked at, there was only one intensive care unit. It was called the intensive care. But actually, if you go to larger hospitals, they do separate. There's like cardiac intensive care, there's neurologic intensive care, there's the regular ICU, there's the neonatal ICU, there's the PICU, which is the pediatric intensive care. There's trauma ICU. So that kind of sums up all the ICUs. There may be more, I don't know. But also other areas in the hospital that you might like, there's labor and delivery, there's mother-baby, there's dialysis, oncology, psychiatric. So these are just some of the options that you have while working in a hospital. And there's more, believe me. Some different jobs that don't necessarily take place in a hospital are things like forensic nursing. There's home care, which means that you kind of go to the person's house and treat them at the house. There's a diabetes nurse. A lot of hospitals do have a diabetes educator because there's so much education that needs to be done for patients. It's hard for the floor nurses to do that. There's an infusion care nurse. Basically, those are nurses that will administer a lot of blood products or maybe chemotherapy things. But it's like an ambulatory service, which means that the patients kind of go in, get their infusion, and then they leave. There's an option for informatics, which if you like computers and you like developing systems or finding ways to make systems work better, but it's not directly with patients, then you can work in informatics. There's a lot of hospitals have an infection control nurse or team, so they just find ways to make it to decrease the infection rates. There's military nurse, legal nurse consultants, which you can get your advanced degree. I think it's like a judge degree. You can be a legal nurse consultant, you can be a research nurse, public health nurse, a rehabilitation nurse. In addition to those, there's a lot of advanced degrees that you can do. The main one is nurse practitioner. That's what most people get. And when you get your nurse practitioner, this is a master's degree. And after you get that, you basically can do primary care. You could actually have your own practice as a nurse practitioner. Or if you wanted, you could work under a primary care physician. But also what you can do with your nurse practitioner's license is you can specialize, which means that you apply for a position and that facility or that doctor's office, they actually train you to specialize in certain areas. So you can specialize in GI, you can specialize in psych, neuro. I mean, the possibilities of specializing are limitless, basically. Another advanced practice that a lot of people want to do is nurse anesthetist, which means that you administer anesthesia during procedures. A nurse attorney is another good advanced degree. Nurse educator. So guys, listen, this video is like such a big undertaking for me, but I'm gonna point you in the direction of some resources that I thought were amazing. One place that I looked at when I was considering nursing was the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. If you just Google that and you Google nursing, a lot of information will come up, but I'm gonna put the link below because I spent a lot of time on this website when I was, in nursing school. It just really motivated me. Another site that I don't think was around when I was in nursing school, because I think I would have spent a ton of time on this site, but it's by Johnson & Johnson, and it has Explorer Specialties Discover Nursing. And I printed this off because I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But I'm gonna put the link below. What's really great about this is that it shows there's 104 different nursing specialties, and then if you click on each specialty, it tells you the educational route that needs to be done in order to work in this specialty. So as you can see, there's so much that you can do as a nurse. One thing that I will tell you is if you are ever unhappy on your job, my advice to you is to do the best job that you can, but to not stay in a job that you're not happy with. You guys might not know this, but I am a per diem nurse, which means that I kind of work on call for a lot of different floors and hospitals. So I basically go from unit to unit, and every day it could be a different unit for me. What I have noticed is that there are some units that just have a negative culture, and there's some units that have a very positive culture. And so if you are on a unit that you do not like, do not stay there. So as a new graduate, you might have to sign a contract that says that you will stay on that unit for a year or two. And that's basically just because the hospital spends a lot of time to educate you, and it's very, very expensive. So my advice to you is to do the very best job that you can, but not to stay there if you're really unhappy, because there's just so much that you can do. When I was deciding where I wanted to work, I had no idea that I would like med-surg and that I would like telemetry, but I just happened to love it. So I just have kind of stayed there, and I probably would be happy doing this for a very long time. Anyways, guys, I hope you found that helpful. Spend a lot of time on the resources that I'm putting the links below because they're amazing. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you guys thought so, then please give it a thumbs up and post a comment and let me know what you thought. All right, I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.